Arsenal have won 9 in a row. After a first half masterclass blew away Burnley, things are looking good for Mikel Arteta's Gunners. So from a Viktor Gyokeres masterclass to the changing role at Eze, a Declan Rice moment of magic, and the title race getting even more interesting. As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Baz14. Welcome back to your boys channel and another win. I mean, they're getting a bit boring now, aren't they? My friends, we've got so much to break down. So as per, smash a like on the video if you do enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Help your boy as we are closing into 250,000 subscribers. But starting off with the first thing, and as a Declan Rice masterclass. Masterclass is the word, as we saw one of the most complete performances of the season, as Arsenal continue their insane record of having won 9 consecutive games in all competitions, our longest run since October 2018, when we won 11 in a row under Unai Emery. Not just the fact that Arsenal winning, but also winning sustainably. We have now gone 7 consecutive games without conceding in all competitions for just the second time in club history, previously doing so between September and October 1987, a run also of 7. All eyes now turn to the Champions League, a chance for Arsenal to make it 8 games without conceding a single goal, and in the process breaking another club record. For a team that is collectively growing, we may only be in November, but flowers must be given specifically to Declan Rice. After another monster class today, we saw a player completely dominate, dropping an 8.8 SOFA score rating, 1 goal scored, 2 key passes, 91% of passes completed, as well as 5 out of 5 tackles, 3 interceptions and 4 clearances, 6 of 10 ground balls won, and 9 ball recoveries. I think the word we have to use here is simply complete, with the most touches, the most duels won, most possession won, most final third entries, most tackles, most interceptions, and the joint most aerial duels won. As Mikel Arteta says, Rice was everywhere. We talk about evolving as a player. Today's show really well what we want to do with him. The areas that he's affecting the game, attacking, defending, and in the opposition box, our own box and set pieces. That's what we need from him. The performance that makes you realise why he cost £105 million. When you talk about a player that can do every single facet of play, going forwards, the timing of his run, arriving in the box at the perfect time with a lovely header. Not only is Rice a threat inside the box, but defensively so dominant in every single duel. The way that he charges past players and gallops past them. For me, we are talking the most complete midfielder in the Premier League. And that I'm saying with chest. As Rice now has 4 goal contributions this season, the joint most alongside Viktor Gyökeres, for Arsenal in the Premier League this season. It's about time that we change the narrative of what Declan Rice is as a player. The idea that he's a number 6 defensive midfielder does not do him justice. This is an all-phase midfielder, a bit of a throwback. You think to the era of Steven Gerrard, a midfielder that could do everything. Rice is the epitome of box score, with no midfielder having created more chances than Declan Rice in the Premier League in 2025. As this image here perfectly shows, Mikel Arteta asks you to defend, yes boss, I can do it. I need you to go forwards, yes boss, I can do it. I need you to score, yes boss, I can do it. In his 3rd year as an Arsenal player, reaching a brand new level, of course thriving alongside Martin Zubimendi, the idea of having this partnership in the peak of their powers, it's a very exciting thought as an Arsenal fan. But seen pointing to the sky following a celebration, as Rice said after the game, my auntie passed away before the Fulham game. I loved her to death. Travelled everywhere to watch me with my mum. I know she's watching down, so that was for her today. Moving on to the second thing, and that is the hidden truth. The truth that Arsenal are only a set-piece merchant team. The idea that Arsenal only rely on set pieces. Well, in a game that Arsenal had a 2.73 XG to Burnley 0.41, the first half was what you call perfection. Arsenal with 2.55 XG. And Burnley with 0.00. Not even mustering a single shot on goal, Arsenal were completely dominant. In a game they ended with 54% possession, 4 massive chances created, 12 shots, and not a single save for David Raya to make. Yet still, as soon as Arsenal got their first corner of the game, you could sense the anticipation growing, because Arsenal have become inevitable. Yet another fantastic delivery from Declan Rice, right on the money to Gabriel Magalhaes, getting another assist this season for Viktor Gyokeres. Not only has Gabriel become a consistent threat in the opposition box, but I am sick and tired of hearing the narrative that Arsenal are getting lucky. Oh, we only score from corners, is it even sustainable? If it was so easy, why can't other teams do it as well? Instead, what Mikel Arteta has created, a team full of physical monsters that can exploit you, dominate you inside the box, as well as having elite set-piece takers. We can't forget Rice did not arrive at Arsenal as a set-piece taker, but under the work of Nicolas Jova and Mikel Arteta, they found a strength, they identified it, and we are now seeing the fruits on a week-in, week-out basis. In a game that he also sent back Gabriel up to 7.9 SOFA score rating, 1 assist, 1 interception, 9 clearances, 2 of 2 ground balls won, and 3 of 3 in the air. But the main thing that we have to focus on is how Arsenal are getting those corners in the first place. It is not a matter of luck, but more a matter of pure persistence, with Arsenal having had 336 touches in the opposition box this season, the most of any team by a country mile. This is why Arsenal are getting the set pieces, they're getting the corner, because of the sheer dominance. The idea of pinning teams in and keeping them there, and at one point something is going to give. With that innate ability to pin teams in, it also helps massively when it comes to defending, as Arsenal have won yet another league game without even facing a single shot on target. Raya is in goal and he is chilling week in week out because of the shield that Mikel Arteta has created in front of him. Defender to striker, all willing to work hard for the team, put their body in the way, and make David Raya's job as easy as possible. That is now 7 clean sheets in a row. And as Scott Parker said after the game, Arsenal are a team that has every single ingredient to win the league this year. It's not even a matter of Arsenal being opportunistic. The idea that Liverpool and City are both poor, and Arsenal just making the most out of it. It's more the fact that we are so complete in every facet. Not only are we now seeing open play chance creation, where Arsenal are carving teams open with some lovely football, but from the set piece brilliance being there week in week out, to defensively giving absolutely nothing away. As former Wolves manager Gary O'Neill said in a recent interview on Monday Night Football, Mikel Arteta has built an almost complete machine. This Arsenal team can do everything, and he is not wrong a single bit. The idea that Arsenal have so many different ways to break you down. If you're going to play a deep block and be defensive, we now have the consistent ability to find set pieces and exploit you time and time again, alongside the clear improvement in open play football, where Arsenal are passing that ball with far more confidence, as well as the idea of being so defensively secure that as soon as you get the ball, you have next to no chance of scoring. Mikel Arteta's team is looking very, very complete. And as an Arsenal fan, it's looking very exciting. Moving on to the third thing, and that is Gyökeres finally clicks. The masked man himself for a celebration that has gone global. On a weekday, he had NBA superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo doing the Viktor Gyökeres celebration. It was only right that we saw it for Arsenal as well, as Viktor of course scored his first ever Arsenal away goal, taking advantage of yet another set piece. But in a game that he dropped a 7.2 SofaScore score rating, yes, you have the goal that he scored, but more impressively 3 key passes and 2 big chances created. That, my friends, has to be the main focus. Gyökeres' overall play was fantastic, showing a creative back in that final third that we had not seen so far. From the weight of his pass being perfect, to playing a major part in the second Arsenal goal as well. As soon as he scored the goal in this game, you could see a far more composed Viktor Gyökeres, taking his time finding his moments, in a first half that he could have easily had a hat-trick of assists. This is a man that was brought into Arsenal to be our top goal scorer, and that is exactly what he is right now. But to finally get a league goal, then showcase fantastic link-up play, you can see a player that's starting to adapt towards his teammates, understanding a brand new league and how to exploit his strengths. When it comes to complete number 9 performances, that first half was Viktor Gyökeres doing exactly that. As Mikel Arteta said after the game, Gyökeres had everything: his high press, his position, his touches, his threading behind, the way that he linked play, the way that he got from the situation, to transition moments. I think he was in a really good moment, not only showing sides to his game that we had not seen so far, but more importantly answering a lot of critics. The idea of Gyökeres not being technically secure, but going against Burnley and some physical centre-backs, knocking them to one side, and helping Arsenal keep the ball up the pitch. This was a very promising Gyökeres performance. But after being taken off at half-time, as Mikel Arteta confirmed after the game, we had to take Viktor Gyökeres off because he was feeling a little nickel. Martin Mendy as well. He asked to be subbed, so we have to wait and see. Replaced by last year's emergency number 9 and Mikel Merino, playing as a striker and dropping a 6.5 SofaScore score rating, with only 1 chance created 10 accurate passes, and not a single shot made, after scoring so many goals for Spain. And having seen the glimpses last season, with all the focus that was on Viktor Gyökeres, there was a small minority of Arsenal fans claiming maybe it was time to use Merino as a number 9 again. But this cameo gave us a clear indication of the level of threat that Viktor Gyökeres provides Arsenal. As soon as he was 4-star, not only were Arsenal nowhere near as threatening, but when you have a striker that's constantly providing you an outlet, Merino does not have that same ability. Neither I would say Kai Havertz, to constantly be a threat in behind. Gyökeres is a natural goal scorer. Even him being on the pitch, if he's not scoring, he's gonna have an impact time and time again. Merino, Havertz and Jesus are all nice profile, but when it comes to being the Arsenal number 9, Viktor Gyökeres is showing massive signs of improvement. But moving on to the fourth thing, and that is Eze's different role. In one of his best performances in the Arsenal midfield, starting once again in the Martin Odegaard role, but with a very key change made by Mikel Arteta, in a game that he dropped a 6.8 SofaScore score rating, no chances created, and 21 accurate passes, as well as 1 successful dribble. The key thing that we have to focus on though, is the player's heat map, where in previous games he has played more on the right hand side. In this game you could see Mikel Arteta giving far more freedom, as they naturally go more towards the left, and therefore having far bigger impact. The angle that we saw him thrive at Crystal Palace year after year, there's a reason why as soon as Eze goes towards the left hand side, you see a player that looks far more natural. But with only 2 goals for Arsenal so far this season, I have seen some Arsenal fans start to question, can we see more from Eze, him demand the ball and make things happen? But that's why I think it's very important you understand the type of player that Eze is. Eze has never been a busy player, a player that constantly wants the ball for the sake of it. Instead, he's a man for the moment, biding his time and finding the perfect moment to go and hurt the opposition. With still no Martin Odegaard, I can see why Arsenal fans do want a little bit more. But in this game, goals and assists to one side, I did see a lot of positive signs of how Mikel Arteta was using it. Having then seen Viktor Gyökeres finally start to click, for me it's only a matter of time before we see Eze get those goals and those assists. because performance-wise I do see a lot of positives. But in a game that Arsenal were unchanged once again for the third consecutive league game, on the left-hand side you had Eze and Trossard, dropping a 6.6 over score rating, with 1 assist and 2 shots, and 1 big chance created. Having now started 6 of 8 league games this season, there's a reason why Mikel Arteta has given Trossard so much trust, because you see a profile that's working very nicely. He's not quite the game changer of 2023-24, but after important goals against Fulham, and yet another assist today, his profile when compared to Gabriel Martinelli is one that is far more creative and can create separation. And it is kind of annoying, because let's say Trossard had Martinelli's pace, you would almost have the perfect left winger for Arsenal, but at the same time he is tireless, he hustles and he bustles. Playing on the left hand side, he is making impact. With a solid campaign for Arsenal so far this season, with far more variation in his play, it will be intriguing once Martin Odegaard returns. Do we see Eze move towards the left hand side, or Mikel Arteta go towards Gabriel Martinelli? The beauty for Arsenal is, we have so many different options, and as Mikel Arteta once said, different game states need different profile, and Arsenal have abundance. Moving on to the fifth thing, and that is it's looking good. Looking good, looking magnificent, looking beautiful, as Arsenal have now won 9 games in a row in all competitions, having kept 7 clean sheets in a row, 18 goals scored, 1 conceded. We have now gone 10 hours of football without conceding a single goal. Defensive numbers that are simply insane. After becoming the first ever team in English top flight history to go an entire calendar month and play 6 games, win all of them without conceding a single goal, the start of a brand new month and you got the same level of form, an even more dominant first half performance. The second half we definitely fizzled out, but to yet again keep another clean sheet. There's a reason why Arsenal fans are getting very excited, as Arsenal still remain officially on track to beat Chelsea's 15 goals conceded record in an entire Premier League season. That's a record that's very far away, but more importantly, taking it game by game, Arsenal just looks so strong right now. In a game that you had the return of William Saliba, as Mikel Arteta said, he was a doubt today but he made it. He trained yesterday and he was feeling well. But even if Saliba wasn't available, you look at Arsenal's backup four that played against Brighton, and you see players there that will be starters for most other clubs in the entire league. Yet for Arsenal, Nketiah and Mosquera don't even get into the starting 11. That is what you call depth and quality. And as an Arsenal fan that has waited so many years, suffer through Socrates, Mustafi, David Luiz and co, seeing the starting Arsenal back four, and then the backup back four as well, it's a really heartwarming feeling. The idea that we're finally getting rewarded after years and years of patience. And as shown by this graphic here, the defensive quality is clear, with Arsenal being the best team in the league last year and going up yet another level. As the graphic shows, Arsenal are going clear. Not just there, but more importantly at the top of the Premier League as well. Having now got 25 points after 10 games played, 8 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat. We are now even more clear of Man City and Liverpool. And the most ironic thing behind that, in a week that you've had Arne Slot talk so much about injuries, the context of players being out injured, the same exact thing that Arsenal and Mikel Arteta were laughed at for last season. Arsenal have silently gone through their own injury crisis. As perfectly shown here, with Saka, Trossard, Eze, Madueke, Martinelli, Odegaard, Havertz and Jesus all missing massive parts of this season, yet in spite of that Arsenal are still finding ways to score goals and are still top of the league. With no Kai Havertz, no Gabriel Jesus, no Madueke or Odegaard, there's still 4 massive players that are set to return, yet still Arsenal are getting about with their job. With the great work of Andrea Berto in the summer, the squad looks so perfect and so ready that once we get those stars that are going to return, things start to get even more exciting. With Mikel Arteta confirming before the game, the hope is that Kai Havertz, Madueke and Odegaard are back for the North London derby in a run of games that's definitely going to be testing. From Spurs coming to the Emirates, to Bayern and Chelsea, the idea of those 3 massive players returning for an Arsenal team that's already won 9 games in a row. The question for you guys to answer down below in the comments: how much longer do you think this run can continue? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Burnley 0, Arsenal 2, yet another win, yet another set piece. And my friends are top of the league. I am chilling right now, but more importantly, game by game, we stay humble, as Erling Haaland once said, and we see what happens next, my friends. I'll see you next time. Take care, and a bit.